Where do you go? South from the West Cap or north? I see.
Probably north. So, yeah, it's obviously they designed a new model for that. Uh-oh, somebody's capping me. No!
There's a lot of base control
Wow.
possible here.
Never mind, this is the... Look at this. You don't even have to leave the base. You can shoot all the way into A5.
I'll be right back again.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's the only firing angle that you have from this position, but it's still there. It's kind of dumb.
Oh my god, I made a mistake. I loaded AP in my RU. And heat. Damn it.
Dying.
Why am I so bad?
I have my dirty gold spammer loadout because I forgot to change the ammo, so I'm not going to be shooting that much.
Well, I have AP and heat and HE. So
Alright, so from the C2B2 platform, I can shoot into the middle, like in E5, E6.
and you can shoot C8 corner.
You won't be able to see it, obviously, out of view range, but if somebody else is spotting it for you.
Yeah, it's inside draw range, that's for sure.
This C4 mound isn't in the way, right? It's short enough that you can shoot over it into C8.
I don't even see the C4 mount from here.
It's right in front of you. This mound right
Well,
here.
I'm
with the
looking.
bush.
I'm looking at. I see it, but I know where it is. But when I go to sniper mode and look at D8, Delta 8, I cannot see it. It's just at the left corner of my screen.
Okay.
So
Oh, because you're sitting over there on the right side. Yeah.
yeah. So
And this position, you can also shoot into the middle. And yeah, you can shoot into C8 from here. This C4 mound is short enough that you can shoot over it. So that's okay.
yep.
And then,
But as you said, somebody else needs a spot for you.
and then shooting down the A line, B line here. That mound in A5, A6 provides some line of sight cover for tanks on approach from direct line.
And you have several concealment rows here and spots to approach, like to go for a step-by-step advance in a light tank.
I love
It's really good.
that they put all these intermediary bushes in all of this.
Yes.
You have the primary vision spots, but if the battle, changes for some reason, which it often does, and it's not a traditional meta dispersion, then you can adapt to it,
Really good.
And then here's the C4 mound. And then you have a mirror. You have a mirror in B7, C7.
Yeah, it's basically all mirrored. None of the two sides is like in
Dramatically
a
different.
dramatically disadvantaged here, which is really good.
I'm wondering how the engagement in this center area is going to happen, because you're going to be having tanks that move in here, either from the north or from the city side. So if you move up here, you would want to... Oh, I see how it's going to work. So you basically want to move up and cross to the opposite corner. Like if I'm from the west spawn, I would want to go here. And then I have this column here that protects my back from getting shot from the city. unless, you know, somebody actually moves up there to shoot me at point blank. And then I can do that. Or I can turn around if I think that the field is under control and then start shooting into the city. So this corner right here is. And then this corner would be from the opposite direction from the east spawn. The ledge is not that high though, so it doesn't provide a ton of cover.
Russia, corner side scrapes you.
Got some scaffolding there. These spots, like this spot and the mirror just on the other side in D4, I like these the most. Although I don't know where you would drop back into cover from. Probably behind the stairs right here. You drop back down into cover right here, I guess, if you get spotted. Which is probably pretty likely because you're only about 350 meters away from these positions.
In a tank like the RU or the T-54, you can hide behind this wall here easily. No problem.
But I'm thinking maybe a taller tank would have a harder time there.
Also a nice corner here. Gives the enemy a very small target. And you can go back. Let that corner protect you.
How far
Really
away
good.
is that? How big is this map? 1,000 by 1,000?
I honestly can't say. Honestly
Um,
can't say.
my view range is 445. So the
Okay.
render. So
Let me have a look.
It's 800 by 800, I think.
Yeah, it's 800 by 800, yep.
I think. I'm not sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah, you should be able to cut through the camera rating from that position if you wanted to use that bush to counter spot the like C3 and then the mirror on the other side. I think I'm going to be using the B4 and the B7 mounds here a lot. Like these positions right here on these mounts.
Sounds reasonable.
And then you saw these row of bushes on both sides here on the A line, right?
Well, yeah. I mentioned them like earlier, these long rows of concealment here. That you can advance behind. Brilliant.
You can actually reverse far enough away to shoot through cover and not get spotted, at least directly from the front. You might get spotted off from the D line, you know.
I don't see you anymore, by the way, right now. You shouldn't see me either. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I poked out. Yeah, I think it's gonna work like the zero line on Ruhenberg, you know, the line of bushes. But it's only a single row of bushes, right? So you could actually spot somebody off from the side, like you just did here, right? So there's a counter to it, which is good. And the mirror sniping position here, the A2 and then the A9. I think a lot of tanks are going to be sitting here. All the snipers going to be sitting here.
Can you still see me?
No, you were last spotted in B6 for me. Oh, there you are. And then
Some good hardcover opportunities here too.
Yeah, they put houses here too, which is good. In B3 and B8.
Regardez le Tour Eiffel. La Tour Eiffel, I think. Wait. My French is a little bit rusty.
almost speak no French, so... The approach line, like, assuming that you won the north, the progression is going to be kind of interesting. So assuming your team wins the north flank, you'd be coming through here in D8, D/D9, or D0, or the center in E5, E6. Like if it turns into a north-south fight, you know? So... I'm trying to figure out if there's enough cover to cross this first street. Like, where do you have to go? Wow, this is really open.
Yep.
I don't like progressing.
It should be, though.
Yeah, it's the cap
should
circle. It's the cap circle, I get it, but I'm saying someone sitting on like this corner right here. Say you wait there. Say I'm trying to defend the east cap from a north team that has won, you know, the north. You have so much open ground to drive through before you can assault them. I think the better alternative would actually be progressing back from E8 on this diagonal right here. So you win the field, then you push up through this street right here. Start your engagements from here. And then you can shift if there's, you know, tanks across to your right, then you can just shift over here across the street and get into cover on this wall. Though you're not really in cover directly across, though. You'd have to go to like here. Basically, you have to decide where the enemy is, you know, if they're on the zero line or on the diagonal. I like this.
That slope is actually pretty nice.
Oh, the curved wall? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
You can
that
side
better.
scrape in towards every angle.
I don't like pushing straight down the 9 line or straight down the 2 line. Like if they're set up to defend, that would just be suicide. So I wonder if Artie is going to sit back here. Is this the Artie corner?
The houses are too high. The houses are too high, no way.
Well, you could shoot into like E3 and D4.
You would have to try with some Arty.
Huh. What about in this back corner? Would you be able to... No. You wouldn't be able to get enough gun arc. Or could you? Maybe with a Conk GC you would be able to shoot over that.
Well, from here you could at least shoot into the field.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you're sitting on the south wall right here. Oh, I see what you're saying. Shooting down that street. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm sure some Arty are going to be sitting here. And then there's a mirror on the west side in J2.
Personally, I think, though, that Arty will not move far from the cap circle itself.
Like G0.
Because that's a much more, that's a much more open area. You don't have to worry about your gun arc that much.
And then they're going to be sitting kind of in G1 and H1 on the other side as well. So here's the south again. So here's one line of shooting. You can shoot anybody that starts to cross the south bridge. And then you have these 2 houses for the east spawn that you can use for engaging. Interestingly enough, these pillars on the bridge block your line of sight into the opposite side of the bridge. From this house, anyway.
These houses here on the corners will be brilliant side-scraping defense spots for heavies.
And look at that. The pillars on the north side of the bridge also are blocking some of your line of sight across the bridge.
So you have to shoot accurately.
And then you can dive down here. Or just come down here from here. And then, yeah, I think it's going to be... This is going to be way better than Sacred Valley, I think, right? Because they were trying to do this bridge, underneath the bridge flanking thing with Sacred Valley, you know, the bridge by the temple. But it just doesn't work because it's uneven.
Yeah, it's not an 8 either.
It's a H. It's not a 8.
Yeah.
So so flanking underneath the bridge to come up behind the like if nobody wants to cross the bridge, which I'm pretty sure is what's going to happen, people are going to have to fight under the bridge to be able to flank the enemies on the other side. So, and then you'll have two fights, of the above bridge and the below bridge fight, and then this vertical street is going to be really important in the under bridge fight, I think. I don't know. Ooh. So why does this corner get a notch and the other one doesn't? So you can side scrape here. You're completely exposed to several diagonal streets from behind you, and the steps. There is. It seems like.
But you can control the whole bridge area, of course. You will see everybody who tries to get through there.
It seems like there's no one position that you have everything in front of you. You always need to be making sure that there's no enemy in a position behind you or to the side of you.
You have the same position over here, by the way. That little corner.
And if enemies... So you have the center, the south, and the north from a horizontal tactical perspective, too. So if you want to flank at a dug-in enemy in the south, you're going to have to fight and win through the center to be able to use these diagonal streets. You know, say for instance, you're from the west spawn and the enemy's all dug in J7, K7, right? So if you want to flank them, either you're going to have to fight through under the bridge, or you're going to have to win the center somehow, and then come up from their side right here and start shooting them as they're all set up on the bridge.
Yeah, it's like you always, no matter where you sit at for defense, you always have to worry about another angle of approach for the enemy. You cannot not be sure. You have to look all around you.
But like before, like
map
I said,
awareness is a very, very important skill on this map.
like I said before, though, there's so many avenues on this map that it's going to be near impossible for the enemy to cover all of them evenly. So you like the intel will be trying to figure out which streets do the enemy don't have any tanks on, or very few. I think I would like the north better for that, because if you win the north, then you'll have control of this area right here, and then you'll be able to get vision on all these streets, right? You'll be able to see where which streets the enemy is on, and then you'll be able to decide where to go from there, because from this spot you can basically see most of the streets. And then you can pick the area where the enemy is weakest, and I like that.
Have you noticed the sparks that are coming from your tracks when you're sliding on this stony ground here?
No, I wasn't paying attention, but I see him now. Yeah.
It's just a little graphics effect. I find it pretty neat.
Alright, so now I gotta check the west side of the bridge again, and then we'll finish up with the west cap. So yeah, definitely the south bridge will obviously be a main fighting area. And then the north, basically the D line, C line, B line, and A line is its own fighting area of the map. Where's the... This is actually a little low. Oh, I can see tanks with good gun depression using this. Like this. This is actually slightly lower. The east side is flat all the way, right? All the way back several hundred meters. This is actually slightly lower there, right at the bridge itself. So you wouldn't be using that corner, you'd be using this corner. Because this corner right here is completely exposed, I think. Yeah, I don't like that corner at all. I like this corner better.
Path of scouting, bro.
The thing is, if you're trying to push up underneath the bridge to flank the enemy, you're gonna run into everyone that's sitting where we are. Like, if you're from the east spawn and you flank underneath the bridge, and then you're pushing up, we're gonna shoot everyone as they come up. Or wait, is this mound here high enough to provide enough cover? So there's this rubble pile right here, which will provide some cover. And then I'm gonna have to expose myself crossing right here after I've won underneath the bridge for a little bit, and then this mound will protect me from you. But I can't be safe from you and from the guys that are sitting defensively on the bridge on the west side. I think I would just push up all the way here and just get shot by one guy instead of getting shot by two guys. I don't know, I think the west is set up a little bit... It's more bottlenecked on the south side for the west spawn than it is for the east spawn. Because if you look on the mini-map there in J7, K7, J8, K8, it's a little bit more of a spread out defensive position where the west spawn is a little bit more bottlenecked at the bridge. Yeah, I think this is going to be an arty pocket right here. I don't know. You know what's really funny? I'm going to like this map a lot. Because as I can see it right now, arty is going to have to constantly move if they want to get a shot in on a different street.
I didn't think of that.
Unless I'm seeing
when
it
the
wrong.
battle, when the battle shifts,
they're going to have to relocate if they want to be getting shots somewhere.
Yeah, from G1 to D1 or all the way down to J2, A3, depending.
Which is good because it introduces more skill into playing it, right? You have to relocate as the battle progresses.
You mean it finally introduces skill for playing arty?
Yeah. So from like this position, if you're literally sitting at the cap in arties, you can shoot into the field in like the AB lines, and you can shoot defensively into the south bridge, and the same for the east cap, but you can't shoot offensively into it. Your field of fire ends basically on that vertical 5-line street.
As I said, we should have, or we would have to try that out in arty actually, to see where we actually get shots.
I can jump into arty if you want. We can check the firing angles.
I'm not too interested in that, to be honest. Arty is a pain in the butt. Oh, sorry. is a pain in the butt, and technically, you can get shot by Artie on any spot on any map anyway. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just a matter of how well is Artie positioning.
Well, it's definitely not going to be where an Artie can sit in one position and cover half the map. They're going to have to move if they want to shoot somewhere else.
And that's good. So at least minimum skill is required.
And then, of course, Artie will be sitting in these top corners, yeah. Like, yeah, A1, A0. What?
Yeah, this is actually a brilliant spot here. Because you can shoot down even into J0.
Actually, I take that back. Look at...
And the enemy cap.
Yeah, look at J7. Oh my god, that's kind of broken. Yeah. So don't sit on that house down there. Either drive...
Well, side scraping is not good. Don't stop there to side scrape.
Yeah, go all the way up to K7, like, and K6. Don't sit on that house right here. Or oh yeah, you can't see the minimap. Derp. But yeah, is it the same from the other side? You can shoot down that diagonal.
I think so.
Yeah.
From A0, yeah.
From A0 to J3, yeah. Yeah.
It's actually pretty broken.
Well, you're just gonna have to not sit there.
And that's why the field is important. It's a high risk, high reward position for Artie, because the field will be focus of the battle very quickly.
And I think it will be easier to progress and get control of the center area right here from the field than from the city. Because if you try to win the center from the city side, you're gonna have to drive into all these diagonal streets, and
from here you have every angle you want.
Whether it's from but from the field side, you basically are keeping more or less the whole flank in front of you, and then after you win the flank, you can transition here. Yeah,
I think overall the field is more important than the city. That's what I feel.
And then there's the transitional center area where you have these diagonal streets that make an X and you know meet up in a spoke wheel in the center. But you have all these transitional sniping / vision spots on the field. Lol. Physics.
Come on, it's awesome.
Slide gently.